So I feel like Bernie Sanders needs a miracle. He needs a Hail Mary pass. He needs to pull a rabbit out of his hat. He needs to have the most spectacular. He needs to get David Copperfield and pull a rabbit out of his hat because he's got to get the momentum back. Is it just going to be at the debate? He could do, he could skydive. I think that would, bring some momentum to his campaign. Joe Biden keeps talking about doing push-ups, so maybe Bernie could out-push-up him or play some basketball or something. I don't know. But if Bernie Sanders doesn't win next Tuesday with the states, Iowa, no, Illinois, Ohio, Florida, and Arizona. So Arizona conservative, Florida conservative, Ohio conservative, and Illinois. Maybe that he might have a chance in Illinois. I'm predicting, but he's got to pull a rabbit out of his hat. So you're actually going to have the Northern Mariana Islands election on Saturday. So that could, get Bernie Sanders some momentum, and then you have the debate on Sunday. Then you have Tuesday, and Tuesday that's it. Bernie has to win, and there's no other path. And so you hope for the best, but you expect the worst. And so the worst case scenario would be if Bernie Sanders does not, get the nomination for the Democratic Party. And so that's the worst case scenario. So what, are progressives to do? Well, we have a fail-safe. We have another candidate. We have another option on the ballot. Okay? We are not forced to vote for Mr. Bankruptcy Bill, Mr. Patriot Act, Mr. Iraq War, Mr. Fuck over the whistleblowers, Snowden and Chelsea and, all them, Assange. So, Howie Hawkins, okay, so I just learned about him, but he seems to be winning a bunch of these Green Party primaries. There's a couple other candidates, so it hasn't been decided. He hasn't captured the Green Party nomination just yet. But you're Dario Duncan Hunter. He's born a Muslim, ordained as a rabbi, he's a lawyer. He's 36 years old, 1983 born in New Jersey. So Dario Duncan Hunter is running against this other guy, Howie Hawkins. So I got to learn who Howie Hawkins, a little bit more about him, but I'm impressed with Howie Hawkins. He's, first going for the Green Party nomination, so that already says something about him. I think he's actually seeking both the Green Party and the Socialist Party nomination. Howie Hawkins is actually the founder of the Green Party, USA. He founded it in April 2001. Now, he was born in San Francisco, California in 1952. So Howie Hawkins is seeking both the Socialist and the Green Party ticket. He's the original Green New Dealer for America, right? He founded the Green Party. So Nader and Jill Stein and Cynthia McKinney kind of, owe Howie Hawkins a big thank you for creating the framework and the structure for their candidacies. Now, Howie Hawkins has a stellar progressive agenda. He's got an economic Bill of Rights. He's got community control over the police. He's got National Health Service, lifelong free public education, universal child care and pre-K, reduce classroom sizes in public schools to 15, student loan fund for student debt relief, secure retirement, nationalize big oil and gas, public power utilities, green buildings, solar roofs, heat pumps, energy efficiency, interstate high-speed internet, green factories and farms, zero waste recycling, peace, conversion, global Green New Deal. He's got a ton of ways he's going to raise revenue. It's all on his website, like 20 to 30 different ideas of how he's going to raise revenue. He's going to nationalize the biggest banks, capitalize local and state public banks. I'm not exactly for sure what that means. Nationalize Federal Reserve as public monetary authority. There's a carbon tax. Police are organized guns, force, and violence. They're state power, so that's why we need community control over them. And in the forever wars. So he's right everywhere. Economic Bill of Rights, job guarantee, basic income guarantee, homes for all in walkable communities, universal rent control, regional transit systems, electric cars. So fantastic. Howie Hawkins, the original Green New Dealer, very progressive, very left-wing. I like every single one of these planks, except for the one I didn't, capitalize local and state public banks. Not 100% sure there, but as a progressive, I have somebody to vote for. I'll feel good voting for Howie Hawkins come November. And no, I'm not voting for, both of the parties will say, you're voting for the other guy. No, I'm not voting for the other guy. I'm voting for Howie Hawkins. That's who my vote's going to go to. So I'm not wasting the vote like, people that vote for Kamala Harris when her name is still on the ballot, but she's already dropped out. That's wasting your vote. That vote went to nobody. Literally went to nobody at all. So, yeah, Howie Hawkins. Howie Hawkins, worst case scenario, Bernie doesn't get the Democratic nomination. I'm voting for Howie Hawkins. Essentially, Bernie or bust. I don't know if a Bernie write-in movement, if Bernie takes it as an independent. These are possibilities, but very small, very slim. Jill Stein had offered the Green Party ticket on a silver platter to Bernie Sanders over and over again. Bernie has said that he will support the nominee of the Democratic primary. So over and over again, he said, so I don't expect him to run as an independent. So once he loses next Tuesday, then it's over, and Howie Hawkins is he's the man I'm going to vote for come November. So, people might try to say, well, a vote for Howie Hawkins is a vote for Donald Trump. No, it's not at all. Okay, I do not care. I do not like the policies of the Trump administration. I do not like the policies of the Obama administration. I have not had a liberal president my entire life. I was born under the regime of Ronald Reagan. And Ronald Reagan, Clinton, Bush, Baby Bush, Papa Bush, Obama, and then Donald. None of these are liberal presidents. Nixon, LBJ, these are real actual liberals. And so what Biden, Mr. Homophobe, Mr. voted for DOMA, Mr. voted for the 1994 crime bill, fucking pervert. Guy can't even keep his hands off of, everybody's kids. Grandpa grope and sniff. So he's a pervert, he's a weirdo, and he's a neoliberal. So these are two very good reasons not to vote for somebody. No, I'm not going to vote for that pervert. No, I'm not going to vote for that. He voted, Joe Biden says marijuana's a gateway drug. Nixon's war on drugs. He's all about the Wall Street bailout, which, helped the auto industry, but Wall Street, Nixon's war on drugs, the Iraq War Patriot Act, he's for the TPP for NAFTA. So goodbye, jobs in manufacturing base of America. 1994 crime bill. Goodbye, black folks going to go to prison now. Bankruptcy bill. Goodbye, students. The credit card industry's got to make their money. So to hell with the students of America. Opposed busing and mired segregationist. Jesus Christ. He attacked Anita Hill when it come to the whole Clarence Thomas sexual harassment hearing. Deregulated the banks. Voted to kill the Glass-Steagall Act. Brought about the 2008 Great Recession, voted for these wars that cost us $1.25 trillion every year. He's going to bring back the individual mandate of Obamacare, because he wants us to have choice, right? That's all about options and choice. That's why he's going to keep the private, but he's going to be individual mandate. So you must, keep your health care plan. Unless you're too poor to pay for it, then fuck you. You'll get, fined $1,000 or whatever it is. Biden helped Coca-Cola skirt anti-monopoly lawsuits. Patriot Act advanced bills to kill Roe v. Wade, voted for the 1986 Firearm Owners Act. He's done a whole bunch of stuff like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, threatened to cut all these things. And he's not talking about peace. He's not talking about, scaling back the word. He's just basically just riding on Obama. He's a blank slate, so he's a shoe. He's a stupid, dumb shoe. Here's a guy, he's confident. He seems like he could, get the job done. Joe might be able to pull it off, because Hillary barely lost, and so if they just run the exact same campaign and try to be shittier to the progressives, I'm not going to break. I'm voting for Howie Hawkins, right? Isn't that the guy's name? I think, yeah, Howie Hawkins. Howie Hawkins, the original Green New Dealer, the old HH. Oh, Howie. Howie Hawkins. Oh, howdy doody, Howie Hawkins. So Howie Hawkins is going to get my vote because that's the kind of America that I want to bring about. Nixon is all about authoritarianism, about the corporatists, about the one percenters. He's about the, armaments industry and the credit card banks and the, the financial institutions. He's just bought and paid for the 1%. He says he's not going to bring about any change. Don't worry about, change. It's going to be incremental change. So he's going to barely, undo all the shit. He has to undo everything that Donald has done. And he's just going to be incremental. I'm just going to do baby steps. Jesus, he's not the populist. So that is not the kind of America that I want. I cannot in good conscience vote for an America that has endless, forever wars, drone strikes, deporter-in-chief, Patriot Act, so, domestic surveillance, that's attack of our Fourth Amendment, the Bill of Rights, the Second Amendment, the bankruptcy bill, credit card, and the crime bill, busing. He was a fucking racist. He was opposed to Kamala Harris going to elementary school or any black girls from going to elementary school, pretending that he's just against the, federal spending on public busing. Oh, yeah, busing. It's socialism. Oh, look at these buses taking the kids. That's socialism. But that's how we integrated America, was through public schools. Voted to kill Glass-Steagall. So, okay, expect another 2008 Great Recession. He's going to deregulate the banks. He's a creep. So the Me Too generation that didn't stop Donald, it didn't stop Joe. So really, it's just a big, I guess it was a moment in time. It's over if Joe Biden gets in there. So we're not supposed to, take women serious anymore. So, just on and on. Compare and contrast. Are you kidding me? So, when it comes to ending the wars, Howie Hawkins is going to end the war. When it comes to universal health care, we will definitely get it with Howie Hawkins. Will we get it with Joe? I don't know. Obama promised it, and we never got it. Howie Hawkins is not only saying, universal health care, but economic bill of rights. Everybody gets a job. Everybody gets a basic income. Everybody gets a check. Everybody gets a house. Universal rent control, regional transit systems, electric cars, free education, free health care, secure retirement, nationalizing big oil and gas. There's where he's going to pay for everything by nationalizing the banks and nationalizing the Federal Reserve and nationalizing big oil and gas and nationalizing, everything. He's also for community control over the police. This is fantastic. This is a great platform to elect Howie Hawkins on. So compare and contrast. What is he going to do, something great for the unions? What's he going to do for the economics when it comes to, Howie Hawkins, the America that Howie Hawkins brings about? All a president has to do, literally, is just sign their name on a piece of legislation. But, they have to give speeches, and they're kind of the symbol of who America is. They're the public face for the entire world. So if we were, an alien came down and said, take me to your leader, then you would have to take him to the president, right? So he's symbolic rule. It's an important rule. It's like a monarch. You just have to have somebody kind of sitting on the throne making the decisions. And then, so he could sign the legislation, give speeches, but I think what's more important is by having a platform, you could see all the things that he's in favor of. So if he's focused on universal health care, he can have a lot of other people working on nationalizing the banks and the Federal Reserve and the wars and the police and working on all these other issues, so he inspires people to work on a whole host of things, and it's not just, one or two issues. We have what the fuck are we getting with the Joe Biden? We have no idea. He's running to the right, so he's going to be just like Donald, only slightly better. So I think it's good to, out with the old, in with the new. So yeah, I could see Joe possibly winning and maybe doing a decent job, but I could also see Joe losing and absolutely crashing the country. And I could see Donald crashing the country. And so is this good for the next generation? Just crash and burn the two-party system and then just absolutely let it all, crumble on its own and build anew from the ashes and the embers that are left over from their terrible, insane, warmongering, imperialist, right-wing policies. Let's care more about Wall Street. Let's care more about the wealthy. And what about, basic income? Joe Biden's not doing that. Job guarantee? Nope. What about, any nationalizing big oil and gas, nationalizing banks, nationalizing Federal Reserve? Nope. Joe Biden isn't going to do any of that. So when it comes to the kind of America that I want the vision that Howie Hawkins has versus, Joe Biden, Mr., bankruptcy bill, DOMA, opposed busing, Wall Street bailout, Iraq, Patriot Act, TPP, NAFTA. This is a 2008 Great Recession because he killed Glass-Steagall Act. So he's just Hillary Clinton 2.0. We've already... the fact says that moderates 2004, the moderates lose over and over again. And you had, Obama, he said he governed as a Republican. He was a progressive as a candidate, so he, ran to the left on Hillary. And then I think, right, I don't know, but the moderates lost to 2000, 2004, 1968, Hubert Humphrey, and the McGovern, the opposing view to McGovern is the FDR had, beat the shit out of some other candidates, so he, took the whole map. He took the whole map. So, yeah, okay, 72 happened, but FDR happened. And, whereas it was a landslide against McGovern, it was a landslide against, whoever the fuck FDR ran against. So, shit. I don't like the vision that Joe Biden provides for America. I think he's a creep. I think he's a weirdo, so he doesn't advance the conversation for sexual harassment, for, women's rights, and the whole Me Too movement, the whole Me Too thing. So, shit, I think I can go on and on, but I think I made my case. Joe, Biden is just fucking dog shit. He fucking sucks. He absolutely sucks, and Howie Hawkins is a badass. So I want the America that Howie Hawkins wants to bring about. I don't want the America that Joe Biden wants to bring about. And I'm not going to vote for Joe. I'm not going to vote for the Democrat. And he never won me over. He's not a bold progressive agenda. Yeah, bullshit. You right-wing neoliberal fuck. Yeah, bold progressive agenda. Who are you trying to bullshit? That's why he stutters, because he's a right-wing neoliberal trying to bullshit progressives. So that's why he gaffes, right? He's like, listen here, I did the thing, and I was the one, and I'm the one that spearheaded the Iraq War. Yeah, okay, you were all about the Iraq War. You fucked up. You had bad judgment. So Joe Biden, I've been cutting deals and compromising his entire political life. He's, lost 1988 presidential campaign for straight-up plagiarizing speeches, lying right afterwards, saying that he was, like, #1 in his class in Harvard or some shit. So Howie Hawkins. I like Howie Hawkins, so, yeah, that's where my vote's going. If Bernie doesn't, win next Tuesday, he could still win. And if Bernie's in there, then I will vote for Bernie. If there is no Bernie, I'm voting for Howie Hawkins. Okay? Peace out.